Oh boy, this is a bad idea. Hey everyone, today we are talking about the funniest thing in the world, people dying. I am clearly stating now that this video is for educational purposes, and I do not condone or recommend any of the activities, including cannibalism, mentioned in this video. Lucifer came from hell and then put on a James Dean mask, and that's what James Dean is. So if you're going into the pit, you better be strapped. Dinosaurs built the pyramids? Here I get more of the vibe we're all a massive flesh conglomerate, to which the plumber freaked out and says this looks like human skin, to which Dennis replied with, I guess someone flushed their fried chicken. So this guy, in trial for his own murder, literally stood up and went, Mr. Alcala, did you commit the murders? And then he would turn and go, no, I did not. Well, you are a very handsome man. Oh, thank you, Mr. Alcala. You're welcome, Mr. Alcala. All right, sexual assault missiles. He is transformed nearly entirely into a giant snail. You can see the previous figure of the Sphinx floating off into space. I can't profess to know exactly how the FBI was feeling at the time, but if I had to guess, it was probably something like, Mr. Squirrel. I would feel more obligated to sign an NDA from a Yeti than I would the government. And now whatever followed Mark home from Caesar's house is outside of his bedroom door, trying to convince him to come out. This makes sense as to why immediately after escaping, he met this really kind guy who just seemed to love him and gave him a bunch of money and fake passports. And they're like, oh, well, it was a statue, but it killed like hundreds of sailors in Europe and put their skin on, and that's why it's a woman now. And the government's like, oh, but we can still get the statue out of there, right? That William killed a bunch of kids down here, I guess because he was in like a silly, goofy mood. In 1949, the Statue of Liberty went through its renovations, and that's when they started feeding people to it on the reg. What? 3 and did the whole DC monument torture thing, whatever. Or essentially, Baby Powder is an interdimensional picket fence who was talking about climbing a mountain because his ghost girlfriend told him to. And the influence of soy products on humanity will lead to a totalitarian femboy empire. Whenever we're confronted by emotional or intense media, it's important to analyze our own feelings and understand if this topic. Just trust me, nothing happened at Tiananmen Square. Why are you asking? And said that King was making things harder because, you know, those pesky workers, them and their human rights. So to go ahead, cover all my bases, I do not want to unalive myself. I'm a great swimmer. I do not look like a deer. Is there anything else I'm missing?
You're a questionable swimmer.
Oh no, Satan worshipping fish down there or something. To this day, no one has any clue what that means. Why don't they just shoot him with... I did search. No. Over the next several days, Sumura also begins to experience snail-like symptoms. That's a child! That's a child! Someone hand me that gun! So Trifina's in the audience, and she gets so worked up with excitement that she dies. It says that she has a heart attack and just dies in the stand. And everyone in the stands are like, man, this girl, like, we watched a bunch of animals die, and now she's on fire. We should probably call this thing off. So the governor decides to call it off, and even that Alexander guy who started all this is like, yeah, we should probably call it off. So they call it off, and everyone cheers so loudly that it brings Trifina back to life. So anyways, after this, she goes back to her mom in Iconium and is like, hey mom, do you still hate me? And the mom's like, yeah. So Thecla goes, oh, okay, and decides to go into the mountains to be a kind of spiritual healer. And I have ventured here far out into the wilderness to kill them. Got factories that are creating too much pollution and contaminants. Throw it in the pocket dimension. Whenever, every time two people may be developing some form of a bond, there's a 50-year-old man at the back of the boat like, is that a dead bat? That or they ate him and then cooked his bones. Do you know what isn't neat? Your wife leaving you. I was 15 years old when I was first shot. The screams that are just human enough to be haunting can be heard in the distance. I want to talk about something serious. If I ever started to go bald, Google would show up and take these plaques off the wall. It's in the contract. Now imagine that Rock Hudson is standing at the top of the water slide, hurling Nintendo consoles down the water slide. He's about to encounter an Ohio resident. Great. It's all the fun of World War I without the dying part. Remember, switching to your secondary cross is always faster than reloading. As the men are peeing on it, are you ready to meet God, Bambi? That sign won't stop me because I can't read. Giant alien monster beast things, that's not what we're interested in. Emphysema, that's the real killer. The first story alien chain email says that he's seen the tree walking in the plaza. I was your age when I got shot. Well, I haven't been shot. Oh, you want to fix that? So in order, tell an authority figure, find a way to get away, try to identify the kind that it is if you can, and then if killing it doesn't work, take out yourself. I am inside your home. Representing Bohemians Grove's mission statement to disband all 50 states and turn them into a cost-effective Walmart. Yes, his name was Cornbread. The government burnt down a college dorm. This makes no sense. You ever want to freak out your friends at 2 in the morning with loud noises and creepy faces? And maybe, I don't know, make them cough? Huh? The years start coming and they don't stop coming. Hello, Jake from State Farm. Oh, that's great, Nate. What a lovely drawing. If my kid did this, I would trade it in. What's my child kill count up to? 5? William Afton moment. Christmas with the Cranks is a communist satanic propaganda film. And on that note, McDonald's. Throw it in the pocket dimension. I didn't get dragged into a mirror by my paranoid schizophrenia. That's not how it works. I'm bleeding in my eye. And after some normal images of cats and balloons and white people and all that stuff, there's a petting zoo as well where you can pet the declawed lobster creatures. Anyway, a lot less depression, a lot more dinosaur. So what I'm saying is government sanctioned weaponized femboys. Yeah. She then stands up and looks at the ceiling fan. And that's it. Just that image. This guy chokes himself to death. Everyone cover yourselves in green foam and stand in T-posing around 106 and that will disable it. That's right, Mr. Squirrel. The two of them are mating. As always, my videos is putting you one day closer to death. So you're welcome. I know that was a lot. But you're being very brave and I'm proud of you.